Maybe. And welcome to the Planet X podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Mike.
And it's been a long time since we did one of these. You know, we it's summertime. We got stuff going on, some good, some bad. But we're back. Hopefully we'll be back every week now.
I went on vacation. I went to a funeral. You know, it's that.
Yeah, it's that kind of, we had holidays in there and just days where we were just like, I don't feel like doing this. And days of the computer problems. And it's been a good, crazy month and a half.
Yeah, your household had a kind of a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie type of thing happen.
Yeah, we really kind of did. My wife is adopted, and she found her birth mother. My wife was adopted from Colombia. Had no idea she would ever find her birth mother, and did a Google search and found her. She's actually talking to her right now. They've been talking every night for 2.5 weeks now. So, which is
and learning Spanish as she's going too.
And learning Spanish as she's going. I had her, and this is the funny side of things is I refer to her mom, her adopted mom, the one that I've known as her mother, as mom. Well, I refer to her real mother, her birth mother, as mom. And that's screwing her up. She's yelling at me. She's telling me to refer to her birth mom as mommy. I can't do it. Just can't do it.
You know what you can do.
I know what I can do.
If you now have a Spanish mother-in-law, you can take from the late, great Eddie Guerrero.
Mamacita.
Mamacita. But it's one of those things that it's a bright spot with me having to deal with I had my we're cousins, but my grandfather on my other side of the family passed away, and in one of the things looking at the brighter side of things is you guys' story right now with what's going on is just something that's happy. It's something that I know that your wife was looking forward to someday happening, if it ever did happen. And now that it has, it's it's fun, it's exciting, it's refreshing. Right now it just seems like there's a lot of not good news.
Yeah, that's kind of the world is kind of a dark and horrible place, and it seems to be getting darker and more horrible every day.
And I mean, that's part of the reasons that we we enjoy the escapism of what we do, because you got to live in that world, and as an adult, it's nice to have some of these outlets to go to step away from it when you're out there in that world and living in it and doing what you can and not being able to change anything.
Yeah.
On a major level, you can try. Everybody, if you decide to try, you can try and hope for the best. But this is one of the reasons why we did it. And I missed, our little month hiatus. I missed doing this.
I think I did too. And it was, there were points where I was just like, and I've been in a weird place the past month and a half too. So it's been, there's been points where I've gotten, I will admit that I've slacked off a little bit. I haven't sent that message to you on Monday, like, hey, we doing a show tonight? Or even with the other podcast, the wrestling podcast, which we haven't done in forever, but I promise we've got one coming this week. It was probably me stepping away like I hasn't really been a great thing. But because I really, the daily work day is kind of beats you down, and just all the other crap on the outside with the politics and just the BS that's going on in the world. Being able to come in here and sit for an hour and just BS about our fandoms and our nerdiness and all that is a good release. And hopefully it is for anybody out there that's listening. It's a good release for you to listen to us yap for an hour or so.
Yeah, to vent and talk a little bit. I think to stay on the positive train. something that
Absolutely.
before we took our hiatus, that kept on kind of becoming a topic of conversation and was not at all positive, was this Ghostbusters movie. And
Yeah,
now it came out, and pretty much everything I've heard, it's a resounding, it ain't that bad. It's pretty good, you know. As
that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing, I'm still on the train of, like, I might catch it when it's across the street, at the discount theater. I'm still just not on board for it, but I'm happy that it's getting better reviews than I thought it was going to, and it's being received better than we thought it was going to.
Yeah, and there's still that. I found an article that kind of just had on IMDb, people had put reviews up before they had seen it.
Yeah,
and they were like 0 stars. It's all it looks like it's gonna be. This is a sin, and I'm like, all right, we weren't happy with. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said that's a problem. That's the one bad thing about the internet and the internet reviews is you have people that haven't seen the movie, giving it negative reviews. Now, yeah, we weren't talking highly about it, but we weren't reviewing it. We were just saying, hey, this is what we are taking umbrage with, and saying that this is, we have a problem with this part of the movie or this, this other idea behind it. But you have people that are reviewing shit before it even comes out, and they never saw it. They're just like, oh, it's a women, I hate this movie.
There's a lot of professional reviewers that do the same thing.
Oh,
they get their bullet points on stuff, and then they just are like, they have their opinion made up already on what they're going to say about a movie. But I've heard from a couple different people that I know. I've heard from people talking about it, and the general buzz is that it's good, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's good, even though I'm not psyched to go see it, just because of all the people that were shitting on it. It's a pointless battle to try and get into a fight with some of these guys in these YouTube comments. But I had one the other. On my YouTube homepage, just some stuff came up. And, most of my stuff either deals with comics, that type of related, the type of stuff we talk about. Forensic Files, because I watch that at night when I go to bed. And a lot of wrestling stuff. And then and comedians. I like putting on stand-up comedian, things about comedians. I like listening to comedians tell stories, especially comedians telling stories about other comedians. And there was something with Sarah Silverman telling a story about Norm Macdonald. And it was a humorous story about them in a car ride together. And then I just I don't even know why I bother sometimes. It's not, I can't even say it's a guilty pleasure, but it's a habit that I have. I'm like, well, let me just see what people said. And I click on the comment section, and I'm like, and just to see people like, she's so unfunny. And then it goes way off. It's, ugly Jew cunt. And I'm like, oh, whoa. What was that?
Yeah.
I'm like, she's just kind of telling a story about riding in a car with Norm Macdonald. It does, And I couldn't imagine. I'm like, if you hate Sarah Silverman that much, why would you even watch the video? And, much less have to worry about putting a comment on it.
Yeah.
If I see something come up, I can't stand Kanye West. If there's a Kanye West video, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not, he puts out even that video that he just put out that had, to garner controversy with celebrity lookalikes in it. I'm like, I'm not even going to pretend, I'm not even going to be curious and watch it just to see what he did. Because I just don't care, and that's that he's going to go away. If you stop paying attention to him, he goes away. And
one can hope.
Yeah. And with this thing with Sarah Silverman, I was like, and I used to be a bigger fan of Sarah Silverman. I don't dislike her comedy. I'm not as big into it as when she used to be on Larry Sanders and Saturday Night Live, and her earlier stuff I was a bigger fan of. I think later, you know, she got into a weird place, in my opinion. But I just, all right, I'm not, you know, I'll dip my toe in and test out when she puts out something new every once in a while. And if I laugh, I laugh. If I don't, I shut it off. You know, I've watched David Cross is a stand-up comedian, you know, and an actor. And I like David Cross. I loved Mr. Show. I liked Arrested Development. David Cross is in things, and I enjoyed David Cross in it. There was a David Cross special that I couldn't watch. You know, I'm like, I wasn't enjoying it, and I shut it off. And I didn't go on and be like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I was just like, all right, it's too bad. You know, he struck out there. Maybe I like his sketch work more than I enjoy his, you know, his stand-up work, I guess. It is what it came down to. And I didn't decide to hate David Cross after that. I don't know, you know, and I haven't done the research, but if you look, you know, it kind of starts to lay out. If you look at what people said about Ghostbusters, and you look about, you know, and then I had this thing with Sarah Silverman, and it's the same thing with Amy Schumer. The amount of guys that go out and just talk shit about Amy Schumer. You know, if Amy Schumer uses the same 3 words in a joke that somebody else used, even if they're of, the, and it, they're like, oh, she's a joke thief. I heard, you know, Bob Newhart use those words.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and there's people that, you know, that just will spend all day, you know, smashing Amy Schumer. I couldn't imagine being that, you know, upset about it or to apply that much time into negativity, I guess. You know, if you're, granted, we voice our opinions here, but we're trying to create something and not just type you know, angry words at some woman that we're mad at for some reason. And this kind of brings me to the next thing I was thinking about because of the visceral hatred that's come out of people about it. I've seen it mostly on Facebook, and it's funny because it's kind of like on my Facebook feed with my friends, it's half and half.
Yeah, me too. It's like either everybody loves it or nobody understands it and thinks it's the stupidest thing ever.
Well, yeah, there's people that don't understand, which I can kind of get. It's like, all right, you don't get it. And then there's people that are just like, well, this is, you're wasting your time. You got to turn in your man card. And I'm like, did you just make a meme? You sat down at your computer.
Yeah, you sat down. You sat down, took up 15 minutes of your day to make a meme. To tell
because you're mad that people are playing Pokemon Go.
You know, I don't get it. I was never. I had like a summer where I was into Pokemon. Like I was where the job I had at one point was, it was a really slow time. So Will had let me borrow his Game Boy, and the only cartridge he gave me was Pokemon. So I sat there and played Pokemon for a summer. I gave him the Game Boy back, and I have not played Pokemon since. That's just me. It's not my thing, but I get it. I get the, I get the fascination with it. I do think the app is genius. I love that it's getting people off the fucking couch.
Yeah,
it's getting people. It's kind of twofold for me because it's like I'm happy it's getting people off the couch. It's kind of getting people to interact with each other, but it still feeds into everybody's got their face in their fucking phone. And I'm guilty of that. I mean, I'll sit there and I'll be on Facebook or I'll, be texting with friends or whatever, but
they're at least interacting with people.
Yeah. So I get that. It's the, and then you get there are going to be, some Darwin Award winners, I think, coming out of this Pokemon Go too. I did see where a girl got hit by a car. because she was crossing the highway to catch a Pokemon.
Yeah,
and it's like that's the thing. It's like you got it. Great. Go get Pikachu, but watch out for the semi.
I tried to get Pikachu today too. The little thing came up that he was close by my house someplace. So I went out and I was walking around a little bit and I couldn't fucking find him. And I'm like, and I had like dinner in the oven and I'm like, I gotta get back in the house before I burn my sausage and potatoes. But it's like any of those stupid games, phone apps. It's a time killer. But you're going outside and you don't realize I didn't realize how many goddamn monuments there are within a relative radius of my house.
Which is another cool thing. It's like it's getting people outside, and it's not just getting people outside. It's kind of getting people to explore their area.
People are walking around. There are the story. Like, everybody's getting their phones stolen. I'm like, I heard one story about that.
Yeah.
That some guys figured it out and were robbing people. But I don't think they did that. Those guys would have been robbing people anyway.
Yeah.
And the people that are crashing their car doing something stupid, they're going to be doing something stupid anyway.
Yeah. It's the idiot that's driving down the highway doing, 70 miles an hour and playing fucking Pokemon Go. That dude needs to hit a tree.
And you could literally drive and do it, almost without looking. It's like it's got a sound. It comes up. You glance real quick. You click on the thing, and then once you have it on your phone, it's like in the car with you.
Yeah,
and then I was catching them without looking. It might have took me three
that's
throws.
That's all fine and good, but when you gotta, some people you gotta, that drive like that, you have to take into consideration other people on the road, maybe other people in the car. You don't want to you don't want to die trying to catch Jiggly.
That's that's the thing. When I was on the highways, I'm like, I'm not. It's one thing when I'm on a regular road. And there's times where things popped up, and I'm like, I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. And I guess that's the difference between thinking about how you get hurt and not getting hurt.
Yeah,
I know this can't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And that's the thing. I as I said, I really do think that there are going to be some Darwin Award winners. For people that just weren't really paying attention while they're bad things happen to people. But hey, some good things have happened coming from Pokemon Go. Like somebody found a dead body.
Yeah, apparently there's been a couple of that. That's happened a couple times from what I've seen. A few dead bodies discovered. I saw some Marines broke up a robbery or something. Yeah. They were walking around playing it, and they stopped the robbery. I know my godson is getting out of the house to play something where he'll usually just lock himself in the room for upwards of 12 hours and play games, and now he wants to go outside and walk the dog and play a game and do stuff, which is good. There's a guy at work I was talking to about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was at my nephew's little league game. I caught this and I caught that." And with the whole Pokemon thing, I got on the hook early with that. Me and my brother and some friends of ours, we played the card game, and we enjoyed the card game because we played all of it. I didn't play that much Magic. I played a little bit, but we enjoyed those games, and it was sit, have a beer, play a card game. Have a couple beers, play a card game.
Yeah.
So I got into that. And then I had the Game Boy game, and we played the Game Boy game. And it was a good time killer. It was something, you're sitting on the crapper before you had a smartphone. You played Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then I had the thing where I could put the game in my, plug it in, my Game Boy game into my Super Nintendo so I could play on the regular TV and fight.
Yeah.
And I had to buy a special adapter for it. So I spent money. I pumped money into it. I did dumb stuff. I remember years ago I almost got into a fist fight with a guy because he was giving me shit about, because I watched the cartoon and when I'd be like, I get home from work, I watch Pokemon, I take a shower. They're like, you watch Pokemon? I'm like, yeah. And he's giving me all this shit. I'm like, fuck you. And it almost came to blows.
Yeah. And I don't have
20 years ago about that.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, everybody's got, everybody in our realm has got their thing. Like, I'm not going to come down on somebody for liking Pokemon.
What's great about it now too is my nephew is enjoying it. Has gotten into the card game, so my brother dug up his old cards and he's playing with them. And my nephew's like, "Oh, Uncle Mike, get your cards." And I'm like, they're in my attic someplace. I got to dig around to find them. So every time he's like, "Did you get your cards yet?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't had 8 hours to dig around in my attic, buddy." And it's July. I don't want to be in the attic. Wait until the fall, and then maybe we'll play some Pokemon. I remember we went to go see the Pokemon movie, the first one. I guess they call it Pokemon 2000 now, but it was the original Pokemon movie theatrical release that tied into the cartoon series. We went to like a midnight showing, and it was 90% grown men who 75% were inebriated in some way.
Of course.
There are a lot of people that had partaken either of the hops and barley or the other or the medicinal herbs of the land. And the movie started off, and there's one part where there's a bunch of different Pokemon going across the screen, and I forget what Pokemon it was, but some guy in the audience just goes, "Yeah, that's my nigga." And it was like being at an MST3K thing. I mean, the reactions from the jubilation, I guess, of these people, these grown men that were enjoying this thing and getting into it. And I'm sure that I say grown men, I'm sure it was a relatively mixed crowd. But then when it got to the end of the stupid movie, wait, hold on real quick, I'll finish this up. When it got to the end of the stupid movie, everybody's crying.
Yeah.
Because it gets all emotional. It's like, "Oh, you crying? No, don't look at me, man. Oh, look at some of my eye."
Well, we in a way,
popcorn butter.
we in a way kind of have like a direct connection to that. In our previous podcast life, we kind of have a direct connection to the Pokemon cartoon because Veronica Taylor, who did the voice of Ash Ketchum, did a bumper for us for our old show.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with the Pokemon stuff. I mean, the stuff that's kind of getting, and like I get it, but I think the Pokemon stuff that's actually driving me more crazy are like now the aggressive Pokemon nerds that are like, now you know how I feel when my Facebook is loaded with sports ball stuff, and I'm just like, oh, just shut up. It's like,
yeah,
shut up, get some exercise.
Yeah, I did see one of the good memes that I saw was something. I love all these people that have been giving me a hard time about Pokemon Go. Now all got to get ready to put together their fantasy
football leagues. One of the best ones one of the best memes I had seen was early on, like last week with the Pokemon Go stuff when the app first kind of hit. It was like a picture of like a goose, and it was like it was just a picture of a goose at night, and it was like, I don't know what kind of Pokemon this is, but it's mean as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm like, I like that. That's fun. But
yeah. So there was another one I saw like that. It was somebody had an opossum in a garbage can. And it's like, I found a Pokemon. I don't know how to get it in my phone, and it bites really hard.
That's good stuff. But
that's I can't begrudge this thing at all. I mean, I'm playing it, but any of the things that people have been playing. I saw there were a lot of people that got with Game of Thrones coming to its end. There were a lot of people that were like, "Oh, okay," they're all psyched about Game of Thrones, and then people were like, "I've never seen a Game of Thrones, and I don't care." And I'm like,
"Yeah,
who cares?"
Yeah,
it's like, when one of these shows goes off the air, and people are making a big deal out of it, or a big season finale, or it's like, all right, oh, who cares?
Yeah, all right.
It's not like
you don't get it. You're not into it. All right, that's all fine and great. I'm not ripping on you for what the stuff that you like. That was kind of we kind of ran into the same thing back in December.
Oh yeah.
When the Force Awakens came out. You know, it was like everybody was like, "Am I the only one?" You know, we have a mutual friend that you know is like, I think posted something is like, "Am I the only one that doesn't give a fuck about the Force Awakens?" You know, and it's
I have a friend like that. I have a friend who, with the Star Wars stuff, the Game of Thrones thing, anything that, and now the Pokemon stuff, he's just like, but he travels around the world to go see Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
So that and then he's putting up these pictures of these different Pearl Jam concert posters that he gets, because I guess each concert they do a different poster, or a unique poster. That's like, all right, and I remember he was asking people where to get. I was telling him where there's a framing store to get things framed, but I guess it was this past May the 4th. And he's like, anybody that puts up one of these May the 4th be wish you, I'm just going to unfriend you. And I go, for a guy who for the past 2 weeks has been posting nothing but wet panty Pearl Jam posts about how excited he is for this and that, you really are a downer on somebody else's, what somebody else enjoys.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, at least Pearl Jam's real. And I go, and I'm like, still real to me, man.
But
and everybody knows Pearl Jam's not real. It was just a homoerotic fantasy created by Cameron Crowe.
Yes, it was. And I love Pearl Jam, but he's got it. Cameron Crowe has a hard on for Pearl Jam.
Oh my God.
Really does. If you haven't seen Pearl Jam 20, watch Pearl Jam 20, and you'll basically see Cameron Crowe's hard on for Pearl Jam.
Cameron Crowe must watch that movie, The Box of Tissues.
He must. Because it it was good, and I like Pearl Jam, but
yeah, me too. But Cameron Crowe likes Pearl Jam a little too.
Cameron Crowe really likes Pearl Jam. But another staying on the Pokemon Go thing, you found a great YouTube video.
Oh yes,
that was.
And I did this. I stumbled on this because I was with playing it and talking to my wife about it, and she's giving me a hard time. And I was walking through my kitchen humming the song, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's." So I found it on, and I played it for her, and it starts, and the way it starts, it doesn't necessarily start off with like Pokemon, And she's like, "What is this shit? This is a Pokemon song, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then like 2 down was this Pokemon parody song, and I want to say the name of the website that did it is it's something cosplay. I'm trying to look for the thing right now so I can bring it back up and plug it properly. But they did a parody of the Pokemon song for Pokemon Go, and
it's brilliant.
Interaction. Yeah, oh yeah. The people walking into trees and people running through the park and meeting, running into creepy guys in a playground in the middle of the night. And I ain't gonna find a thing.
Yeah, and I deleted the link too, so.
Yeah, I might have it right here.
I'm a bad co-host.
Yeah, I deleted the other thing too that I had. I know I liked it on my YouTube page, which is now taking forever to load. Okay, here's my little guy. Here, liked videos, and we're gonna go with Screen Team.
Okay,
is the name of the site that posted it, and that is a commercial that's playing very loudly into the microphone. Sorry.
Technology, ain't it fantastic?
Yes, Screen Team is the YouTube channel, and Hero Play is, I guess, the name of their whatever their group, their whatever. And apparently, the girl that's in it is, I guess, runs the website. She's a cosplayer of some sort, where she is eye-catching, to say the least.
Yes, she is.
She is dressed as, I'm going to draw a blank now, and I can't remember the Pokemon chick. The Reddit.
I don't remember her name either.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Trixie? No.
Yeah, no, Trixie was Speed Racer.
Trixie was Speed Racer. So yeah, my wrong cartoons. But anyway, this chick's got great tracts of land. Oh my god.
She does. Gives new meaning to Jigglypuff.
Yes. But you know, she's creative, she's interesting, and she's not bad to look at. She's in all of these videos, whatever it is, you know. Misty, that's it.
Yes.
The girl from Pokemon is Misty. Yeah. Anyway, I can't find her name, but she's involved with this thing. But whew, she fills out that outfit nice. She fills out any outfit nice, from what I've seen.
Yes.
But it's a funny video. Aside, from
it's like we're not being sexist, and we're not just drooling over this chick in the videos. It's funny. It pretty much catches the pun intended, the spirit of Pokemon Go.
Yes, it pokes fun. It lightheartedly pokes fun at it. That people can become obsessed with it. And I have to say, I've lived in my house now for 6 years. There is a library a block away from me. I have been there more in the past 2 months than I have in the 6 years that I've lived here. If not, for forever. I went there to go vote in the primaries, and then I've been there 3 times to go
catch some imaginary to catch some imaginary creature.
And not just to catch imaginary creatures, but that's also where you go to get more and get Pokeballs there. I can get imaginary things to help me catch the imaginary creatures.
Wow.
So there you go, and you get things. Hey, you seen the Willie Nelson meme? That's like, back in my day, if we wanted to go around and look for imaginary creatures, we had to get high.
Oh, that is kind of true.
There's been a lot of fun, lighthearted stuff. There are these people, but it almost seems like anything that gets popular, there's going to be somebody that has to lash out at it for something because it's not what they like.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I think it killed my Clash of Clans team, though. My clan has been zero activity, really, in the past.
Yeah, I can see that. And I mean, that's kind of why I haven't gotten into playing it, because I wasn't playing Clash of Clans, but I was playing Star Wars Commander for the longest time. And that was taking up like every waking moment of my life. And I'm like, I can't get that involved in something.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I liked a little bit of Clash of Clans. I do it in the morning. I do it when I come home from work. If I'm sitting watching TV, I'll kind of collect my treasures a little bit. But I like that because it's not that involved. I have a PlayStation 4 game that I played for 20 minutes since I bought it.
Yeah.
And it sat in my house for like 2 months before I even opened it, because it's just tough for me to find the time sometimes to sit and play something. Sometimes I'd rather just watch something, I got to be in the right mood to be invested in it. I always say, I feel like I need to get the flu so I can get some quality time with my video games.
Yeah. And that really is what kind of happened. There were 2 games that I was like the app type games that I was like super involved in, and one was the Star Wars Commander, and the other one was the Family Guy, the Search for Stuff or whatever. But I finally broke my addiction. and prior to that, it was Tiny Death Star.
Okay.
I would play Tiny Death Star till 4 o'clock in the morning on a work night. And that was not good. That was not good for me.
One of the games that I got involved in remember when they relaunched, and we talked about this on the old show, when they relaunched SimCity, and it wound up sucking.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of problems with it. But I got really big, and I'm like, here's my game that I'm going to get into, because I always enjoyed SimCity. And with that, I would get involved in it. And then I caught myself, I'm like, I've been sitting here for 3 hours. So I got myself I got a little alarm clock, so I could set it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to play for an hour. And it would go, and that's it. And then I would make myself get up.
Yeah, that's how I was with Roller Coaster Tycoon too. I would sit and play Roller Coaster Tycoon for hours upon hours, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, maybe this is one of those things that's why video games are for kids. Why people say video games are for kids, because then at least you have a mom to yell at you and to tell you to go to bed or go eat or go do something. When you're a married adult, your wife is just like, I'm going to bed, and then
that's kind of how it is. But I with the Pokemon stuff, I'm gonna actually stay for the next kind of topic. I'm actually gonna stay on the video game stuff because us all talking video games made me think of this. Nintendo just announced something pretty fucking awesome. They are this fall. They're releasing I think they're calling it the NES Mini or the Nintendo Mini, and it's the old school 8-bit Nintendo deck that comes with like an HDMI cable that you plug into your TV, and it's got 30 games preloaded on it, 30 classic NES games preloaded on it. I am so buying that.
I saw that. I got very interested in that, but I think I want to say you're the one that told me about it, and I went out and bought, before I went on vacation, I bought a Retro Trio.
This wonderful thing right here?
Mine's red. But
this is red. Mine's blue. The Retron. Yeah, it plays the Super Nintendo, and Genesis games. I dig it, but I don't really have that many. All the games that are on that NES thing, I don't own. So I'm like,
there are a lot on that NES that I don't have. I was playing, and my nephew was watching me. My nephew and my niece were watching me. And I was playing Punch-Out, and the action on the controller isn't quite right. So my timing was off a little bit on Punch-Out, and I'm getting
it comes with and we don't really pose the video much, but it comes with these little tiny wireless remotes or wireless controllers that are a little dodgy. They're not so the control isn't so tight on them. But it does come with ports that you can plug stuff into if you have the old controllers.
Which, when I hooked up Super Mario World and I was getting my ass handed to me using the wireless controller that came to it, I switched to a 20-something-year-old Super Nintendo controller, and it was awesome again.
Yeah.
It all came back to me. There was like muscle memory. But I do, with the wireless controller that comes with the Retro Trio, I can still kick the shit out of somebody in Temco Bowl.
Yeah. That's going to be on the new system. On this, that's one of the games that's on there.
But I was wondering what the license is going to be with it. Like, is it going to have the names, or is it going to be like number 30 touchdown, number 34?
Yeah, is it going to have Bosworth and Bo Jackson, who you just hand the ball to and you just run over everybody?
The kids are watching me play, and they're like, "Who's B.O. Jackson?" And I start telling it. And if you start explaining Bo Jackson to somebody who doesn't know Bo Jackson, it almost sounds like you're making it up. But if you're just a kid that doesn't know, you only know a little bit about sports, so he was the best at his position in football, and he was the best at his position in baseball. He was super fast and super strong. He did things that.
There is a great ESPN 30 for 30 on Bo Jackson, and it's on Netflix.
Yes.
So if there's anybody out there that's listening that doesn't know Bo, you should know Bo. But watch it, because the stuff this guy did, I mean, he made one of the most ridiculous catches I've ever seen.
And if anybody was going to become Green Arrow, I think it's Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Because he's an avid hunter. He just kind of now he makes arrows and goes and hunts stuff. And I'm like, oh, it would be an awesome superhero. Like if a guy was really going to become a superhero, Bo Jackson's the guy.
Yeah.
And his villain could be, he could have hit he could fight like OJ, and he could fight
Fight OJ.
Tom Brady, and who else are bad football players?
Yeah.
Football players that have done bad. Oh, did we run out of things?
No, we've actually got two more things, at least on my list, two more things we can talk about.
Okay.
And they're both one is a trailer, and well, I guess the other one is two trailers and just some interesting stuff we can talk about. But the first one, you brought this one to my attention, was the trailer for Kickboxer Vengeance.
Yes.
Which looks better than it has any reason to be.
It really does. And I'm not sure if Kickboxer Vengeance is a remake, which from the trailer it appears to be, or if it's a sequel. It kind of blurs the lines a little bit because it seems like it's telling the same story as Kickboxer, but then the teacher is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Now, is he playing the character he played in Kickboxer? Because I don't know Kickboxer that well, because I watched it and I'm like watching this and I'm going like, wait a minute, is this Bloodsport or Kickboxer? Because
I know Bloodsport much better.
I know Bloodsport better than I know Kickboxer. So
see, the thing to remember is Kickboxer was fictional. Bloodsport was a true story. Okay. Kickboxer Vengeance is an upcoming martial arts film directed by John Stockwell and starring, I don't know who that is, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who played Kurt Sloan in the original Kickboxer film. It also stars Dave Bautista, Gina Carano, George St. Pierre, Darren Chevalier, and there were a couple other UFC guys I saw in the trailer.
I think like one of the woman in the trailer, I think was what's her name in Deadpool?
Yes,
the bad
chick. She's a UFC fighter.
Yes.
At some level, she was a mixed martial art fighter. But you are right. Yeah, that is her. But it doesn't look. I guess it's a remake. I'm looking real quick just to see. I know Van Damme's playing somebody else, but it's a remake. But they kind of gave it a different name because I guess originally they were going to call it Kickboxer. Dave Bautista looks badass as the big Muay Thai guy. They're going to do the thing where they dip their hands in the broken glass.
Yeah.
And I remember the original Kickboxer, the guy who was Jean-Claude Van Damme's brother in that got paralyzed, was an actual kickboxer. He was like Alex the Terminator or something. I can remember like watching like ESPN at midnight when like kickboxing was on. I'm like, oh, that's a kickboxer.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Dennis Alexio was that guy's name. I was close with Alex. And it's funny that I had no idea they were making this. And a week or two ago, I watched Cyborg, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Cyborg.
Okay.
Which was it was the movie that Canon Studios threw together for like $2 million when they had a bunch of leftover stuff from the Masters of the Universe sequel that they didn't make and the Spider-Man movie that they didn't make. And they just kind of threw costumes on people and a guy wrote a script over a weekend.
Yeah.
And I watched that steaming pile of crap, which is like fantastically bad. And it's one of those things, like I hadn't seen it in so long. And I got it, and you can tell where they edited it to make it like less bloody.
Okay.
And there's actually one point where a guy just disappears. Like he's fighting a guy, and then he's just like not fighting that guy anymore. Like, oh, what the hell happened? And then I was doing a little research. Apparently, there's a director's cut of the film that you can only buy from the director.
Well, it is the director's cut.
If you go on his website, he like mails you a copy of the director's cut of the movie. So then I became more intrigued. I'm like, now I'm going to have to go on this website and buy the director's cut of Cyborg. And then not only did they make Cyborg, they made Cyborg 2 and 3, and the director made 2 other movies that he kind of considered his sequels to Cyborg, because his other sequels to Cyborg had nothing to do with his Cyborg.
Makes sense to me.
You gotta love the things that Jean-Claude Van Damme gets
Yeah.
gets involved in.
Well, except Street Fighter.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Poor
That was kind of-
Raul Julia.
Yeah, that movie killed Raul Julia. Yeah. But the other trailers that came out this week are kind of tied to each other, and one isn't really even a trailer. It was kind of a trailer with some behind the scenes stuff. Star Wars Celebration Europe was this past weekend. So we got some new Rogue One, a Star Wars story footage. It was kind of a trailer that was mixed with behind the scenes stuff, and
kind of did the same thing for Force Awakens a little bit. Oh yeah, it's practical effects, and to kind of give you it's to give guys our age goosebumps, I guess, and be like,
yeah, because it really did. And like this one I've been kind of like, I'm excited for, and I was bummed out that it wasn't coming out this summer, that they pushed it to December. But again, it's like, okay, these are a lot of new characters. How are we going to relate to these characters? And I think I might be more excited for this movie than I was for Force Awakens. And that's saying a lot. And I like so from what I've seen of the footage, I like the look of the movie, because it looks like a war movie.
Yes.
And it looks like a war movie, but it's also got like elements of the stuff that like inspired George Lucas to begin with to inspire his idea for the Jedi and all that, where there's definitely some, martial arts kind of characters.
Yeah, it's got some Western in it. It's got some Eastern in it. It's got a little bit of, it's a World War II movie mixed with, a samurai movie and a cowboy movie and, a little bit of everything, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's one scene where it's like the rebels or whoever are like kind of storming a beach, and it was just like this. It looks like a World War II movie, and I really dug the look of it. So I'm excited about it. It really looks good. I think I'm going to enjoy it. Again, the internet trolls are yapping because the main character is female, and what I have to say to that is shut the fuck up and watch the movie. It is tying into previous Star Wars canon, though, not just with taking place between 3 and 4. Forrest Whitaker's character is somebody from either from the Clone Wars or Rebels.
Clone Wars.
Which is cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That comes out, I think, December 16th or 17th, something like that. So I know we'll be yapping about that as the time draws closer. The other thing that came out of Celebration Europe this weekend was the trailer for season 4 of Rebels.
I think it's 3.
where they're kind of, they're kind of showing Ezra might be, as Ezra might fall in a way, like he might turn to the dark side, and they're kind of teasing that. But the big reveal at the end of this trailer is the new bad guy at the end of this trailer, or for this season, and it's Grand Admiral Thrawn.
No shit.
Yes. So they are bringing Thrawn, who was in probably one of the, who was in the series of books that jump-started the whole rebirth of Star Wars that is now no longer canon. They're bringing him into canon. And Timothy Zahn is writing a new book about him.
Well, I did see that Timothy Zahn came out on Twitter and said he is not writing a new Star Wars book. He has written a new Star Wars book.
He's written a new Star Wars book. But that was kind of cool to see the reveal was Grand Admiral Thrawn, who we've all wanted to see since those stories came out, since the Force Awakens, or not the Force Awakens, Heir to the Empire and all that. So that was a big thing. It was nice to see them bringing a Legends character back into canon. So
that I am psyched about it. I had not heard any of that, and I'm psyched about that. Now,
I think that happened yesterday. I think the reveal on that may have happened yesterday.
I'll have to go look for that now.
Yeah, it was a cool reveal. So Star Wars is definitely ramping up again. Rebels is a solid show. I think they're only talking maybe another season of Rebels though, which I'm okay with. They're gonna kind of.
They're gonna take it so far. I mean, it has to happen in a finite amount of time.
Yeah. But it also might.
And then they have to kill all those characters at the end too, because none of them were in Star Wars.
Yeah. Or that we know of so far. Depends on how they end it.
Maybe there'll be a new special edition, and they're going to work some of these characters.
Well, there's also a new movie coming out next year that maybe one of these characters can show up in.
Yeah.
Especially one that was kind of young at that point in time.
I got something first to wrap up on. I guess this is a debate that stays in the Star Wars realm. It was a debate that I guess raged amongst the internet for a week or so. And it is, what is the proper pronunciation for the name of the Imperial
Walker?
Yes. And somebody asked me, and they're like, "Well, how do you say it?" I'm like, "It's AT-AT."
It's AT-AT.
Like, it's not AT-AT. And I'm like, "No, it's AT-AT."
Anybody that has ever said it's an AT-AT to me, I have backhanded.
Well,
I'm justified.
I used the rationale I used, and then I saw something else with it too. It was like military jargon for things. Like they call this or this and this, I couldn't remember. I don't remember what specific things I used, but the one that I stole this one from somebody, but it was Humvee stands for, is an abbreviation of something.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff, and that was, to me, I'm like, it's not even a debate, it's that, and it's just a nickname for it. The ATSTs are called chicken walkers. It's just a nickname for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how is this even a debate? I'm like, I guess there's just people that grew up in a different era. And,
and that's, that was the thing for me. Like, I had never really realized that it was open for discussion until, like, I had heard, as I said, I had heard people refer to it as an AT-AT, and I'm just like, no. You, sir, are incorrect. So, and now all those backhands have been justified.
Very good.
So, yay me.
I hope you feel good about yourself.
I do. I feel great about myself right now.
Nice. All right. Let's take it home.
Let's wrap up on that. So, you know where to find us. You can find us on Facebook at Channel Z Podcasts. We're on Stitcher and iTunes, possibly soon to be iHeartRadio. I'm going to look into that and see if I can get us involved in that bigger platform. You can check us out at the Channel Z Podcasts /WordPress.com. So we will see you next week with one of these, and we'll probably see you on Wednesday with a hot tag with our buddy Tom, who I think might be going to see Ghostbusters at some point. So we'll get his review on that. It might not be till next weekend, but we'll get a review on that. So anyway, I'm Chris.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.